Welcome students, you are watching YupMaster, the strategic platform, the curriculum based platform for your Excel, for the edge that you need to get the highest rank, the highest score in your school exams as well as in the NEET. In the coming NEET 2021 or in NET 2022, whichever you are going to attempt, remember one thing from our side, that the strategy is going to be the key role or the key thing in achieving the highest score. The reason is the papers are getting easy and easier day by day. So if you wish to achieve a higher score, you need to follow that strategy which is provided by YupMaster. The daily practice papers are going to help you in increasing your efficiency as well as accuracy. So that is what we need to get the highest score. Fix your target to achieve the maximum mark and start preparing with the YupMaster team. So today's our topic is going to be cell as a basic unit of life, and this is nucleus for the day. Nucleus means the director of the cell. So when we are saying director of the cell or the nucleus, we are saying the nucleus is discovered by or told by Robert Brown. The nucleus becomes the basis for categorizing the cells into two categories, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. For categorizing the cell types, the one who is having a well-defined nucleus is called as eukaryotic cell. The one which is not having well-defined nucleus is prokaryotic. Director of the cell. So one who is going to regulate the functioning, all the type of metabolic activities in the cell is actually nucleus, because nucleus is the thing which is having all the genetic material. The genes, the genetic material is responsible for regulating different activities. So here is the starting of nucleus. The first thing is about the discovery. Robert Brown discovered nucleus means as early as in 1831, but by that time the cell theory wasn't there. So when the cell theory was not performed or was not proposed, at that time they were saying that the nucleus should be taken as a criteria to classify cells into two categories, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. The occurrence of the nucleus means it is in the eukaryotic cell obviously. However, there are certain examples of the cells means in the eukaryote itself where the nucleus is not present. The nucleus may be lost with the maturity. Like we are saying that human RBCs are the example, or you can say most mammalian, most mammals RBCs become enucleated. It means they were having the nucleus in the beginning, but as they get matured, they lost the nucleus because they don't require the functioning or they don't require nucleus existence in them. The same is about the sieve tube. The phloem element in angiosperms also lack nucleus. So we are saying why for the nucleus is required. Nucleus is required for regulation of all the activities. But at the same time we are saying one more thing about the nucleus is the cell which are not dividing need not to have nucleus in them, or vice versa. I can say this thing, if the nucleus is absent, the cell will not divide. We will study about it in the coming topic today itself. The other thing is like the nucleus may be one, or the number of nuclei may be more than one. Like two nuclei we have studied in Opalina which are alike, whereas in paramecium the two nuclei are alike, different from each other. In paramecium we have studied the paramecium means the sleeper animalcule which is having cilia on the surface, ciliated protozoan. The paramecium is an example where dissimilar kind of nuclei are present. One is called as macro and the other is called as micronucleus. So they are unlike. For these things you can go for Protista. means the previous classes. This is a good thing about an online platform like Yup Master, where you can watch the previous classes also in the recorded manner, right? So here is macronucleus and micronucleus. The two nuclei are unlike in paramecium. In opalina, the two are alike. Fine. The next thing is the multinucleated conditions are seen in cardiac muscles. Simple example I am telling, because these examples you have studied somewhere. We are studying only those simple things which we have already covered in different topics. So in animal tissues you have already studied about the skeletal muscle or the cardiac muscle. They are multinucleated. Now there are two terms for the multinucleated cells. We say the multinucleate condition is written as, multinucleate condition is represented in the form of either syncytium or the other one is cynocytic. Now both are multinucleate. Okay. The next thing is that how a cell is going to have the nucleus, or at what time you are supposed to see or study the structure of nucleus. I can observe the nucleus when the cell is not in dividing phase. That is called as interphase. I repeat, if I wish to study the structure of nucleus, or where I can find the cell, where I can find the nucleus in a cell at that time when the cell is not dividing. So actually we can say the cell is, the eukaryotic cell is under a regulated cycle. Eukaryotic cell which is dividing in nature, okay, is following cell cycle, means the events are going to be repetitive, that too in sequence. So those are beginning with a small cell, okay, going to increase in the size, becoming maximum. Now this cell decides to divide. Cell size is almost same, but the content is becoming more dense. Everything is almost duplicated, almost everything. In the same packet, or you can say in the same size, the content is doubled. The cytoplasmic transparency has been lost and the cell undergoes division, resulted in daughter cells. So I used to call this one as, or the name of this stage is M phase, where division is taking place. Whereas where the cell is deciding whether to divide or not. If not, the cell will remain as this, like this one. This is called as interphase. So M phase is dividing and interphase is non-dividing. So where the nucleus is more clear, actually in this duration the nuclear content is lost and we are observing some other structures. These are chromosomes. Instead of the nucleus, there are different structures. So we are saying in M phase, the nucleus is represented, or you can say replaced actually, as chromosomes. Non-dividing interphase. Best to study the structure of nucleus. So here I told you one thing, that the cell who is having the nucleus can undergo division. Okay. So one thing is very clear, that a cell which lacks nucleus, take an example of RBC, the human RBC, will not undergo division. It will not divide. Okay, this type of feature we can state. So obviously we are going to start with the interphase nucleus. What does interphase nucleus reveals about the structure of nucleus? Here is it. Before that, the nuclear material without nuclear membrane is seen in or is observed in without nuclear membrane. So if membrane is not there, you cannot define the structure, you cannot say it is well defined. Different type of words can be used. So when I am saying the nuclear material without membrane, so wherever membrane is absent, we used to say such type of nucleus as prokaryon. We used to call it as prokaryon. Or you can tell this thing that nuclear or the genetic material is naked. Nuclear or genetic material is naked in cytoplasm. Naked in cytoplasm. So when these things are studied, that must be in a prokaryotic cell. Obviously by the name prokaryon we can write prokaryotic cell. Means member of which kingdom? Kingdom Monera. So go for the examples of kingdom Monera here. Go for the examples which are prokaryotic. Then only you can get the correct option. Okay. Now out of the two in the first option, bacteria is prokaryotic, means Monera. Green algae is eukaryotic. We are studied in the kingdom Plantae, right? Cyanobacteria is again Monera. And the red algae is again kingdom Plantae. Then bacteria and cyanobacteria, both are prokaryotic. It means answer is C. Why not D? Same features, Mycoplasma, kingdom Monera. But green algae, kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae means eukaryotic. So obviously the both prokaryotic members being present in the option C makes it correct answer. Option C is the correct answer here. Okay, going for the other things, the structure of interphase nucleus. So we have read this thing that where the nucleus is present, where it is going to be absent, or where it is not well defined. The structure is studied during interphase, as it is mentioned over here also. And just I told you this one thing, that the interphase is the best time to study the nucleus when the cell is not dividing. Interphase means when the cell is not dividing. So that structure during interphase is having two membranes. Clear? It is having some structures which are tangled fiber like. Tangled means they are intersecting each other, they are coiled to each other, that is called as chromatin. Clear? They have one or more spherical bodies that are called as nucleoli. Singular is nucleus, sorry, nucleolus. Clear? Singular is nucleolus. Here I can add the name of scientist. The nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. The term chromatin was given by Fleming. Nucleolus was discovered by Fontana. Fine. So these are the things that we need to study separately, the chromatin content, the nucleoli and the nuclear membrane. Let's see the diagram. Okay. So here we are saying that the nuclear membrane is actually consisting of two parts, outer and the inner. See how they are getting joined at their end. The outer and the inner membrane are fused at their ends, and by this way they are forming some pores. You can say doors right now. Wait, if any structure is membrane bound, it means it is getting separated from the surroundings. Okay. First of all, this is outer nuclear membrane. The outer nuclear membrane is often having some studded particles or granular structures on the surface. They are nothing other than ATS ribosome. These are ATS ribosome, and the outer nuclear membrane is often getting continuous into the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Here it is. Rough endoplasmic reticulum means again having what? 80S ribosomes on the surface. Listen the words carefully, okay? I said the outer nuclear membrane is getting continuous into endoplasmic reticulum or the rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is having 80S ribosomes on the surface. Leave it, this is not my topic right now. We are studying about the nucleus. Then comes the inner nuclear membrane. Obviously, in between the outer and the inner nuclear membrane, there is a space enclosed. This space is called as perinuclear space, just like what we have studied in mitochondria and plastid, if you remember. In plastid, it was periplastidal space. In mitochondria, perimitochondrial space, or just intermembrane space, simply. Okay, so these are the structure that we can mention. This is about the membrane only. So the inner and outer membrane are going to separate, or the nuclear membrane going to separate the content of the nucleus, means the matrix. Here it is, nuclear matrix inside, or you can call it as nucleoplasm. Okay, nucleoplasm or nuclear matrix. The nuclear matrix or nucleoplasm is getting separated from the surroundings due to the presence of nuclear membrane. The other name of nuclear membrane is karyotheca, or you can use the word nucleolemma also. Fine. This is about the nuclear membrane. That's done. I said the nuclear membrane may be getting continuous, the outer nuclear membrane is getting continuous into endoplasmic reticulum. Because of the nuclear membrane, there is a boundary, there is a well-defined space by which we can say, because of the presence of membrane, nucleoplasm and cytoplasm are getting separated. Okay. Number 2, the outer and the inner nuclear membrane are getting fused at their ends or at their margins, thereby creating something which is called as nuclear pore. In the earlier context, where the membrane is considered, I was saying nucleoplasm and cytoplasm are getting separated from each other. Because of the nuclear pore, the nuclear membrane is becoming permeable for the exchange of material between the nucleus and cytoplasm. Great. Clear? Because of the outer and inner nuclear membrane, I was saying nucleoplasm and cytoplasm are different. Because of the same nuclear membrane, when getting fused into their ends, they are forming nuclear pore, which is allowing nucleocytoplasmic exchange of materials. Other things, the nuclear matrix is having so many number of fibers in them, the tangled fibers. These tangled fibers are nothing, these are called as chromatin. We call these structure as chromatin. Okay, these threads which are tangled. Now these are rounded or oval bodies. What are these rounded and or oval bodies? These are called as nucleolus. These are nucleoli, singular is nucleolus. Now nucleolus is not having any membrane around it. Means if I am saying nucleoplasm is separated from the cytoplasm due to nuclear membrane. But nucleolus is not separated from the nucleoplasm, because nucleolus is not having any limiting membrane around it. You can see very clearly that these rounded oval bodies are associated with certain chromatin fibers. Okay, we will learn about these structure 1, the 2 and the nuclear membrane 3. Three things we have to study in interphase nucleus. What we have observed? We have observed the karyotheca or nuclear membrane, you can call it as nucleolemma also. Second thing, chromatin, and third is nucleolus. We are observing these things in an interphase nucleus. When the cell is going to divide, the nuclear membrane will disappear. Obviously, endoplasmic reticulum will disappear. These structures are not going to be distinct. The chromatin in the dividing cell is going to form chromosome. Okay, fine. So this is the structure that we need to know about interphase nucleus. Let's go in detail of this structure. Before that, what nuclear membrane provided? As I told you that nuclear membrane is going to do two type of things. What? Due to nuclear membrane. First, nuclear matrix, or I can call this one as nucleoplasm, is separated from cytoplasm. So a distinct chamber in the name of nucleus is created. Now due to nuclear membrane getting fused at their ends, the nuclear membrane getting fused at their ends, nuclear pore is created. The nuclear pores are actually constituting 50% of the nuclear membrane. This nuclear pore constitutes 50% of nuclear membrane, means 50% portion of the nuclear membrane is actually what? Nuclear pore. So this is created, the nuclear pore is created, and when the nuclear pore is created, I am telling you this thing, that these nuclear pore therefore allow, or you can use the word facilitates, nucleocytoplasmic exchange of materials. Right? So what can be kept as appropriate answer for the statement given in the question? Instead of reading the statements, I just recall whatever I have learned in the previous slide, right? And then I am saying that nuclear membrane is going to facilitate the entry and exit of particle from and to the nucleus. So let's search for the things where such thing is mentioned, and you can see this is given in option number 2. Answer is option B. Satisfied with the explanation that we have studied. Okay. So remember one thing, whenever you are attempting the objective questions or the questions with options, it is better to recall the statements, recall the things, whatever you have studied about the question statement, right? You need to recall all the things, whatever possible for you, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines or number of points, whatever you can recall. Then only you can avoid negative marking. Then only you can avoid skipping the question. Okay, as I am able to retain, able to recall the things that I have studied, I am able to mark the answer as second option. Okay, learn how to attempt these multiple choice questions where only one option is correct, right? Okay, fine. Next, so the interphase nucleus who is having two membranes around it, I am calling these two membranes as what? Karyotheca I am calling the same thing as nuclear membrane. I am calling the same thing as nucleolemma, a word usually given for a membrane. Okay, lemma. So the two membranes that are enclosing a space which is called as perinuclear space. This perinuclear space is a wider area, or it is having a cavity size about 10 to 15 nanometers. Clear? Whereas the two membranes are forming a barrier between the content of the nucleus and that of cytoplasm. So it's a barrier if I am considering it as a membrane. But when the same membrane is going to form the nuclear pore due to their fusion at the ends, the two membranes are getting fused and they are forming the nuclear pore. Now it is a wider area. What I said, that the nuclear pore, this nuclear pore is about 50% of nuclear membrane. This is 50% of nuclear membrane. Okay, so this nuclear pore is going to provide the ease of exchange of material between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So here is the thing that I can mention about this particular point. Go with it. That what they are explaining, the thing is that this nucleus performs the functions like replication of DNA, synthesis of RNA, or transcription. Now this is the place of DNA synthesis, right? This is the place of RNA synthesis. Okay, and that synthesis of RNA occurs from DNA, and then RNA is going to form the proteins. But this thing happens in cytoplasm. This thing happens in nucleus. Copy of DNA also in the nucleus. Now see this. If any type of reaction or any kind of change is studied in any living cell, in that cases we observe that such changes, means from DNA to RNA, from RNA to protein, these changes are because of what? These are because of enzymes. I repeat, these are because of enzymes. And enzymes are proteins which have catalytic abilities. Clear? Proteins with catalytic activities form enzymes, and those proteins or the enzymes are formed in cytoplasm. But I wish to synthesize RNA. Now where that RNA is synthesized? In the nucleus. For synthesis of RNA, enzymes are required. From where I can get that enzymes? From the cytoplasm. That is it. Means cytoplasm is the place where the proteins are made. Nucleus is the place, or nucleoplasm is the place where RNA is made. So RNA has to synthesize protein, that's why it is required to go outside. Proteins are required for the synthesis of RNA, so it means proteins are required to be taken inside. Okay, this is how the point in the NCERT has been mentioned. In the NCERT book, they are writing word to word is same. I have simplified the language, that's it, by giving this example that protein will go where? Inside, into the cell, sorry, into the nucleus. The proteins will go into the nucleus and the RNA will come out of the nucleus. So it's a kind of two-way flow. Clear? It's a type of two-way traffic. The proteins are going in, RNA are coming out. They are writing something like, the nuclear pore are the passages through which the movement of RNA and the proteins molecules take place in both the direction, between nucleus and the cytoplasm. They can manipulate with the language, with the same perception, with the same meaning also. They can write it in a much easier way. What? The bidirectional flow of RNA and protein between the nucleoplasm and the cytoplasm take place through nuclear pore. Okay, this is the thing that we need to know. So nuclear pore made the nuclear membrane permeable. Nuclear pore made the nuclear membrane permeable. The same nuclear membrane which was acting as barrier is now permeable due to presence of nuclear pore. The size is much larger, 100 to 120 nanometers. Clear? Comprising about 50% area of the nuclear membrane. Next, the next thing after this nuclear membrane, remember how the nuclear membrane will reorganize or how it is going to reappear. It will reappear towards the end of the cell division, means towards the end of the M phase from the endoplasmic reticulum remains. Okay, I can write here the nuclear membrane reorganize in a dividing cell from endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, this is how it originated. Nuclear membrane formed ER. Now ER is going to regenerate the nuclear membrane back. This we have learned in the functions of endoplasmic reticulum as well. After the nuclear membrane, the second component, nucleolus. The nucleoli are spherical structure that are present in the nucleoplasm, So they are not excluded from the nucleoplasm. Okay, they are not excluded. Means the content of the nucleolus is continuous. The content of the nucleus is continuous with the rest of the nucleoplasm, as it is not a membrane bound structure. So far we have studied ribosome, centrosome, and now nucleolus, which are not bound by any membrane. But remember, ribosome, centrosome are cell organelles. Nucleolus is not. Okay, nucleolus is just a place where we are saying the surrounding membrane is absent. That's why nucleolus is in continuity with the nucleoplasm. Now what these nucleoli are going to do? Actually, these nucleoli are the site of rRNA synthesis or ribosomal RNA. Wait, I will rather say this thing, that actually the larger and more number of nucleoli will be there if the cell is participating in protein synthesis. And then comes the question that from where these nucleolus originated. The nucleolus originates from certain chromosomal portions. Such chromosomal portions are called as NOR, nucleolar organizer region. Origin of nucleolus. I am not repeating the name of scientist again. Nucleolus was reported by Fontana. So origin of nucleolus, if I am telling about origin of nucleolus, I am saying it is from NOR. The full form is nucleolar organizer region. This is nucleolar organizer region. So when I am saying from NOR, in that cases, origin of nucleolus from NOR, in that cases, NOR on some chromosome, not on all chromosome. Such chromosomes are named as NOR chromosomes. In human being also, NOR chromosomes are present, like chromosome number 13th, 15th, 22nd. These are the example. Total 5 pairs of NOR chromosomes are there in human beings. In human somatic cells, we will study the number of chromosomes later. I am just telling how many they are. In human somatic cells, 5 pairs of NOR chromosomes are there. So, if I am saying what are these NOR actually, these NOR are nothing, these NOR are actually DNA sequences. These are DNA sequences, got it? It means nucleolus is having DNA, right? Now these DNA are going to make what? rRNA. Means nucleolus is having rRNA. For that they required enzymes. And these enzymes are what? Proteins. These enzymes are proteins. So NOR are the places where the sequence for rRNA synthesis is present. So nucleolus becomes the place of ribosomal RNA synthesis, or we often used to say that nucleolus is the storage house of rRNA. Okay, and then we say that these chromosomes or the NOR chromosomes will decide the number of nucleoli as well. So in human somatic cell, the at least number of nucleolus can be 5 pairs, means 10. Clear? I can write therefore number of nucleolus, or you will say nucleoli. In human somatic cell. Somatic means diploid cell. At least how many? 10. So that is the thing that we used to mention about nucleolus origin. Okay. So unlike to nucleus, nucleolus are formed. Nucleus is replicated, or we are saying nucleolus, or sorry, nucleus originates from nucleus. Just like mitochondria, chloroplast, centrosome undergo self-duplication, the same way nucleus is also undergoing self-duplication. Okay. So here is the thing about the NOR, or the nuclear organizer region. Okay. In the coming topics, we are going to learn about the names or the numbers of the chromosome which have NOR on them. We will first locate that structure, thereafter we are going to study about it in the coming class. Okay. Here it is about the nucleolus function. I told you nucleolus is related to synthesis of rRNA, storage also, rRNA, and synthesis and storage. Okay. So there is a nice question, and they are asking about that what is the chemical composition of nucleolus, or what type of compounds are present in nucleolus. It's simple. Just now I told you NOR itself is DNA. It is making rRNA, requires enzyme which are proteinaceous. So answer is B. B in sequence, right? If you are going to follow the correct sequence, it is easy to learn, easy to understand, means best to retain the correct sequence. You will enjoy such kind of movies, such kind of television serials where there is a proper sequence. If there are so many flashbacks, if there are so many jumps in the story, if there is a confusion in the story, no one is going to like it. No one is going to watch it completely. So better to have a correct editing, means the correct sequence of the events, correct sequence of the lines, correct sequence of the theory. It makes the theory interesting and easy to remember. Okay. So here is the thing, interface nucleus, the one thing that is left is called as chromatin. As I told you earlier that chromatin means the elaborate nucleoprotein fibers that are tangled in the nucleoplasm. They are forming the part of nucleoplasm, and that chromatin is actually named because it is getting colored. How? Fleming named it chromatin. So when Fleming named it chromatin, it is because it can be stained by, he observed these fibers after staining, acetocarmine or any basic dye can be used which are basic in nature. Instead of acetocarmine, you can use basic fustian, another example of basic dye, to stain chromatin, to color chromatin. Okay, chroma means colored, right? The second, what makes up this chromatin? Chemically, the chromatin is actually major portion DNA, thereafter comes the protein, then comes the RNA, and then the traces of lipids and mineral ions like calcium. These all things are present, means chromatin is majorly, or you can say mostly, nucleoprotein. Because of these contents, DNA, RNA, proteins, right? Next is appear beaded due to nucleosome. I made them beaded, right? Chromatin fibers, I made them in the beaded form. Now these beads are called as nucleosomes. Nucleosomes are nothing, they are actually the primary packaging. Now the same chromosome, primary packaging means, just I'll tell you how. The length of the total DNA in human body in single cell which is having the nucleus is 2.2 meters. Okay, means I am not able to see the cell that is having the nucleus as the most prominent structure, and that too having 2.2 meter long DNA. Means how is it possible? My body height is not at all 2.2 meters. It is about 1.7 meters. So when I am saying that my body height is 1.7 meter, I am 1.7 meter tall. In that cases, how is it possible to keep 2.2 meter long DNA in the nucleus of one cell? It is only possible when you are going to pack that particular 2.2 meter long DNA into compact structures. Now we have 46 chromosomes in our somatic cell, and now 46 chromosome means at least 46 chromatin fibers. Those 46 chromatin fibers are actually representing a kind of packaging pattern of the DNA along with the proteins and the other material. So the primary stage of packaging is nucleosome, that bead. Thereafter comes so many things, after that chromatin, and later on the chromosome, which becomes more prominent and more thickened structure. So right, here we are saying the role of the thing that we need to know about the chromatin is that how the chromatin is getting packed and how it appears when it gets chained. So there are two different forms of chromatin that we have to study. The chromatin, how it is getting formed, let me tell you. First is nucleosome, the bead. Then is chromatin. Nucleosome is what? Nucleosome is having the things. What are these? DNA. The other thing is histone, proteins. Thereafter RNA, non-histone proteins. Okay, means certain minerals also. Then chromatin is going to pack further scaffold proteins and the other proteins, some more packaging proteins. Which are going to form the chromosome. So in that cases, the nucleosome is regarded as primary packaging of DNA. Clear? This is going to form the primary packaging of DNA. So these are the things that we are telling here. The nucleosome, the chromatin and the chromosome. We are talking about chromatin right now. This chromatin is having two forms. The one which is optimally colored and regularly packed. The other one is having more denser packing. Euchromatin and heterochromatin. Okay, one is euchromatin and the other one is heterochromatin. Now let's compare the two. What are these two things? So I have a 10 meter long thread. I made it into two parts. Each is 5 meter long. Okay. I made so many knots on this structure. Now the total length is 5 meter, but it has been reduced to 2.5. This remains the same, 5 meter. I am going to color both of them. I am going to color both of them. Then coloring is done. Coloring is done. This will appear like this, almost the same, whatever it was, but this is going to appear more darker colored. The reason? The segments are too much closed. We are calling repetition is there. So that's why they are appearing more colored type of things. So euchromatin and heterochromatin are the two things that we need to study here. Heterochromatin is this second one. Euchromatin is this one. Okay. So euchromatin. Because the packaging is not that much dense, we are saying it is early replicating. Means it will form the copy earlier. It will participate in DNA replication first. This is too much close packed. So it is first required to get unpacked, then only it can participate in any type of function. That's why because of the packaging, it is going to take more time, late replicating. Again, this is transcriptionally active, means forms RNA. And this one may become transcriptionally active, may become, it may not. If it is going to be transcriptionally active, we will say it is not going to maintain its nature. This is non-constitutive heterochromatin. Whereas remain inactive, the one which is not at all participating in transcription, too much rigid on the decision. No, we need not to participate. That will be called as constitutive heterochromatin. So these are the things that we can do as differences between euchromatin and heterochromatin. Now this heterochromatin is actually having repetitive DNA. Have repetitive DNA means the same sequence repeatedly. Now that is lacking in the euchromatin part. Means I can say the chromosome is consisting of two portions. The one which is actively participating in replication and transcription. The other part of the chromosome is going to be heterochromatic, which is not at all transcriptionally active and participate replication in the later stages. So this is how we can differentiate the two. Remember, the most part is heterochromatin, right? Most of our DNA is getting associated as heterochromatin, but I am not saying that heterochromatin is completely useless. This is having its own function, own importance. The portion may be useful, may be not useful. This is no doubt getting expressed, significant one. Okay. The next will come chromosome structure, but for that we need to consider a cell under division, means the cell in M phase. What nucleus can do? The function of nucleus. Actually, the function of nucleus was told by the experiment performed by Hammerling. He performed the experiment on acetabularia. Another name of science, another name. So today we learnt Robert Brown, Fleming, Fontana, and now it is Hammerling. Told the role of nucleus in regulation of hereditary characters or regulation of characters, that's it. He worked on acetabularia, a green algae. The question is the same here, that the role of nucleus in regulating the morphology of the plant was discovered by Hammerling, discovered in acetabularia. Answer is option D. We are not supposed to study about this experiment, that is not at all needed to us. Now what other thing nucleus can perform? One thing is regulating the characters. The second thing is regulating the heredity. It is passing on the characters from one generation to another generation. That's why we used to say wherever or whenever the cell is undergoing replication, cell is undergoing division, the cell will first undergo replication of DNA in the nucleus. Then only the cell is going to divide, right? And if the nucleus is absent, the cell will not divide. So it's very clear for the function of nucleus. So today we have learned the structure and the function of nucleus, the importance, the crucial importance, that without the nucleus division is not possible, without the nucleus regulation of the heredity or the characters in the organism is not possible. So that's why nucleus is important in the cell. So if a cell is losing the nucleus, say for example RBCs in our body lost the nucleus, the reason is they require more space, they require the space for carrying oxygen bind with hemoglobin, and they are already matured, they need not to perform any regulating activities. Lost. Sieve tubes of the phloem in angiosperms are performing translocation of sugars. They required more and more space in them, so that the translocation is going to be uninterrupted. Nucleus is absent. Means the cell whose fate is not to divide, the cell which is performing something else, right? They may lose nucleus on maturity. So this is our question. We are going to end here about the today's class. The next class is going to be about chromosomes and the microbodies. Now, what is the structure of chromosome? What type of things are present in the chromosome? Remember, in biology, the structure which is becoming shorter and more prominent. Shorter and more prominent means what? Just an example I told you just before it, and I said that if you are going to keep a 5-meter rope by wrapping it, obviously you are going to reduce its length, the overall length, plus you are going to increase its diameter. Okay, if this is the long rope and you are going to keep it like this, what you have done, what changes you have observed? The observation is it has become a thick bundle and it has become short. The same is about chromatin to chromosome. The chromosomes are the thickened and the shortened form of the chromatin, or the more condensed packaging of chromatin. So see you in the next class. Before that, I must remind you about the daily practice paper that you have to solve given with today's class. To retain the things that we have learned today, to make yourself more efficient and more accurate, to follow that strategy to achieve the highest score in your school examinations, in the examinations like NEET or wherever you are going. To remember the fundamentals, to retain the fundamentals, it is necessary to do practice regularly. Do watch our classes in the coming days and become more and more perfect in your practice. Thank you for watching the class. All the best.